Vitaly, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing crab cake you've ever had. It's so easy, it's so simple, you're going to love it. Here's what you're going to need. Some panko style breadcrumbs, some delicious fresh crab meat, a little bit of onion, a little bit of celery, a little bit of red pepper. You're going to need some regular breadcrumbs, fresh chopped parsley, some mayo, some Dijon mustard, 1 egg, Old Bay, lemon, salt, and pepper. Now, wait till you see how good these crab cakes come out. But before we get started, I want to let you know a little bit of a secret. Now, I'm going to make a little bit of a special corn to go with this dinner. And this is like the most amazing way to cook corn. Just like this, in the husk and everything, in a preheated oven, 350 for an hour. That's what we're going to do. And when it comes out, we're going to smear a chili lime butter all over. It's going to be heavenly with the crab cakes. So I'm just going to put these in the oven because I already have it preheated. Now that is literally going to cook itself, and it's going to be so good with the crab cakes. I just didn't want to make a separate video on it because it's so quick. So we're going to serve these crab cakes with that corn and a fabulous little slaw to go on the side, but that's another video. So let's get going. Alright, what I'm going to do first is cook, actually this is not onion, this is shallot. I have some shallot, I have some red pepper, and I have some celery that I've diced very, very finely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this for about 5 to 7 minutes. I want it nice and soft and cooled to put in my mixture. So let's go to the stove and start cooking this up. Now I have about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in here. In a little pan, I'm going to add my vegetables. And I'm going to cook these for about 5 to 7 minutes so they're nice and tender. And then I'm going to let them cool and finish our mixture. So my shallot, red pepper, and celery are cooked, and I've let them cool for a little bit. Now, as you can see, it's not a lot. I mean, I've only used about a 1/4 cup of red pepper and a 1/4 cup of celery, and just one large shallot. I've just diced it really, really small. Now, I like a little bit of vegetable through my crab cake, but I don't want a vegetable cake with a little bit of crab. So that, to me, is the perfect ratio. So now we're going to get all our wet ingredients together before we put in the crab. The crab should always be the last thing you add, because I don't want to just, handle it too much. So I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of light mayo. Believe it or not, that's what's going to keep your crab cakes extremely moist. Have 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Beautiful. I'm going to add in 1 egg. Okie doke. I'm going to add in my parsley. About 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. I'm going to add in some freshly squeezed lemon juice. Make sure you get all the pits. About 1/2 a lemon. That's perfect. I don't want too lemony. Okie doke. I'm going to mix that together really quickly. Beautiful. Then we're going to add in about 1/2 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon. I love Old Bay in my crab cakes. I think you have to have Old Bay in a crab cake. I think I want a tiny bit more. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to add in our cooked and cooled veggies. Some breadcrumbs, about a 1/4 cup. Not too much. I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup. And then once I add my crab, if I see that it could use a little bit more, then I'll put a little bit more in. And 1 pound of crab meat. I use the claw. You can use whatever kind of crab you prefer, but that's just what I like in my crab cakes. I think it's got the most flavor, and it just works best for me. So just work this together. Try not to break up the crab too much. If it starts to feel like you could use a little bit more liquid, you could either use a little bit more mayo, or you could use another egg. But this, to me, looks absolutely perfect. What you should be able to do, see if you just take a little bit of it and a hold, that is perfect. Wonderful. Now I'm going to pop this in the fridge because it does need to just to set and cool a little bit more. I'm going to pop this in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to form them into patties. I'm going to just dredge them in panko and fry them. Oh, they're going to be so good. let's put this in the fridge. I'm going to cover it, put it in the fridge for 30 minutes, and then we'll finish them up. Now my crab mixture come out of the fridge. It has time to set now. And it is exactly how you want it to be. Now remember that I didn't season it with salt and pepper before I went in the fridge. So I'm just going to do that now. Not too much salt because we have the Old Bay in there and the Old Bay has salt. Beautiful crab mixture. Now we're going to form this into patties. Now, I don't want to do like extremely small ones because I'm not having a cocktail party, but I don't want to do big ones either. So I'm probably going to get about 4 really nice sized crab cakes out of this. 4 to 6, I should say. Oh, this is really moist and perfect. I'm going to just dredge them into my panko. And I have some olive oil heating up in a pan. Just regular olive oil, not extra virgin. And I broke up my crab cake, but that's okay. Beautiful. That is exactly what I want. My last little crabby cake. I ended up getting about 7 out of the deal. Alright, perfect. Now let's go to the stove and fry them up. My oil is nice and hot, which is exactly what I want. And then carefully, oh baby. Be careful, it's really, really hot. You always want to put it going away from you. Don't overcrowd the pan ever. That's a big, big mistake. I'm going to let these cook for about a minute on each side so they're nice and golden brown and crusty. And then we're going to do the second batch. Second batch is done. Just turning it off. These are beautiful, aren't they? Look at the crust. And look how wonderfully nice they stay together. Now when you are working with them, they do seem like they're going to fall apart. But that's just because they're super moist. But when they cook, you see that they stay together beautifully, and that's what you want. Because if you start with a too dense crab cake, well, by the time it cools, you're going to have a hockey puck. So let's go to the table and let's set this up. Here are my beauties. I'm going to let these cool for a second. And when I do that, I'm going to make my chili lime butter for my fabulous roasted corn. Now what I have here is a stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Now I'm just going to zest in some lime. About done. A little bit of cracked black pepper, salt, generously because you know corn's very sweet. Okay, just mix this up. Beautifully mixed. I peeled back my corn, and now I'm just slathering it with that chili lime butter. And as you can see, it's melting. It's going all into those nooks and crannies, which is exactly what I want. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this dinner. We got those fabulous crab cakes, an amazing slaw, and the fabulous roasted corn. I think my cameraman's going to be very happy. I'm just going to take a quick little bite of this, and I'm going to get all to clean up. To get all of these recipes, check out my website, www.laurainthekitchen.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.